Welcome back to the channel. How are we all doing? Today I'm doing yet another unboxing. This was sent to me by Shehds. It is the LED beam and zoom and wash small bee's eye. When you look at the lens, you'll see why it's called a bee's eye, because they actually look like small little bee's eyes basically. So you know what, we're going to dive into it, but before I dive into it, just quickly let you know this is a disclaimer to say that it is my own unbiased review and what I actually think of it. I've not been paid to carry out this review. Like I said, it's been sent to me for me to review and give my honest opinion of what I think of it, and it is just that, my opinion of what I think of it. So do you know what, let's dive into it and see what we got inside the box. With no further ado, let's get this open. Got to say very briefly as well, this is an unboxing which is going to just cover, if you've seen my previous videos on reviews and etc, it literally just covers what's inside the box, what you get inside the packaging, and also construction, build quality, what material it's made out of. We'll go into a few what I feel are important specs you should know, and then part two, I will be using this with some sort of DMX controller. Most likely it will be the Wolfmix WMX1. So let's get this open. Right. So within the box is another box, and in that box we have one set of user manuals. We have a Powercon power lead. Oh, I love this. Quick release bracket. You can just quickly put this in, twist and lock in place. Exactly the same, opposite in release. On twist, unlock, and that's it. You're detached from whatever you got it attached to, whether it be a truss or a T-bar or some sort of light stand. And also we have a DMX 3-pin, DMX 3-pin lead. Looks like it is a quality DMX 3-pin lead, not your normal cheap plastic stuff with plastic casings on the end of it. I will catch you back on the other side when I've got this box off the table, and then we'll deep dive into the fitting. We got it out of the box in, which was a mission because it was fairly packaged well. We had a lot of polystyrene protecting this fitting, so there was never going to be any damage to it during shipping. So let's take our plastic cellophane bag off and see what we got. I don't know if within these plastic arms there is some sort of metal construction holding these stepper motors in place securely. I'm not too sure, but the outer casing, look, it is plastic anyway. Possibly that there could be metal behind the plastic casing. The top plate and bottom plate are of, the top plate is plastic, as you can see. The bottom plate, let's twist this over, is metal. So our bottom plate is metal, and that's where you can see where our quick release brackets twist and lock into place. Moving on to our inputs and outputs, we have the usual standard of 3-pin DMX in, 3-pin DMX out. Also our Powercon in, Powercon out, 3-amp fuse, and also a switch. As earlier on I mentioned about why it's probably named the small bee eye. As you can see, the lens is plastic and it looks like a bee eye, hence the name small bee eye, because it's got this kind of like hexagonal shape basically. It is plastic, it's not glass, and this bit extends out and it extends back in. That's how it gets its zoom and wash capabilities. Moving on to the front display. Right, just our standard front display. It is a LED display. I'll power it up a bit so you can see what it's like. We've got our menu button, our up and down, and also a enter button, and that is pretty much it. Going to run through a few of these specs as well. So we have, it is 7 by, I've just got to refer to my notes, 7 by 40 watts RGBW lamp. Also, it weighs in at 6.16 kg, so it is a fairly light fixture. It's not particularly heavy at 6.16 kg. I've got to say it is a very compact and tidy lamp basically. It's not overly big, it's not excessively big, it is compact. And these motors at a glance, if you can hear that, these motors at a glance sound extremely smooth. So I'm pretty much impressed with that so far. And it's got their logo on the side of the arm, a mini BI. The dimensions are from handle to handle. Width wise is 26 centimeters, okay? And also from the feet, you got 4 rubber feet resting on a surface to the top of this actually zooms out. So from the table, from the rubber feet to the top of this, when it's fully extended, is 37 centimeters, and the depth is from front to back is 17 centimeters. So you can see it's not a very particularly big fixture. It is a fairly compact, tidy fixture, which makes it ideal for mobile use week in, week out, basically. So it comes in handy for that because it's not too heavy to carry. A pair of these, as I suspect you will be using them, will be fairly light to carry. That's in the region of over about 12 kgs, 12 and a half kgs, just about slightly a little bit over that, which isn't particularly heavy to carry. It's fairly light. So, you know, makes it ideal for mobile use, basically, for you mobile guys out there who are looking for a fairly compact, easy to carry if you're using a pair of them. And for durability as well, it is one to consider. This fixture is just as happy running as a sound to light or running one of the inbuilt shows, basically by selecting it in the menu and going into one of your automated shows. So, you know, it's practically up to you how you decide to use it. If you don't have a DMX controller and you're quite happy to let it do its own thing by running sound to light or using an automated show, it's perfectly happy doing that, basically. So it makes no odds as to how you want to use it. I just prefer using a DMX controller, so it gives me that more flexibility, it gives me that more control over the fitting, so I can pre-program my scenes, pre-program my shows and select them at a touch of a button. So for this part, I'm just going to plug it in. I'll take you through initialization, listen to how quiet the motors are, and we'll have a quick walk through the menu and see what the menu consists of. I'm just going to plug our Paracon power lead in, wait for that to initialize itself. Can you hear that? Silence is golden. Very quiet, smooth initialization. While the motor's just found their starting and end points. And that's done. That was done in approximately about 20 seconds, did you say? About 20 seconds, 25 seconds to initialize the fitting, which is not bad. So that's a pretty good startup time. All right, let's go into our menu. Let's go into our menu and see what we've got. As always, all fittings, when you first plug them in, default back to DMX channel 001 for some reason or another. Maybe some of you out there might be able to tell me why that is, but that always seems to be the default set position when you plug in a new fixture for the first time. It defaults to DMX channel 001. Right, let's walk into the menu and see what we've got. Right, so you'll have to excuse me because I'm going to do this from the side of it so I can actually see as well what's going on, as well as you can see what's going on. So, top of the menu, we have DMX channel. Let's walk out of that. I should have tell you as well, going through our buttons as well. So it's just a standard buttons on what we've got of selection. We've got our up, our down, our menu and our enter, and that is practically it, basically. So that's all you'll need. And on the front there, we don't have any LED lights or indicators or anything like that, letting us know the status of the fixture, basically. So first, top of the menu is our DMX channel. Moving down, we have fixture. So if we go into our fixture, we have abilities to select our run modes, the modes what we're in, whether run modes, whether we're running it by sound auto. We go into that, we can see what it is, whether we're going into auto show mode or sound mode or DMX mode, basically. Moving on, we've got pan invert, tilt invert, no signal. So no signal basically is if you're running sound to light and it loses audio, you can select whether you want it to black out or hold or just move slowly or do something. Basically that's what no signal is on that. So we got fan control. I've got to say the fan on this is fairly quiet. There's no noise whatsoever from the fan. It is very smooth and very quiet, although I imagine the stepper motors will probably create a little bit of noise. Obviously it's not going to be excessive, but it might be a little bit of noise coming from the stepper motors. Obviously the faster they move, the more noise they're going to create. Sensitivity mode, that is for the sound active, how sensitive or less sensitive you want it to be. And that's it. That's our menu. That's what's involved in the menu. I'm not going to go into the sub menus basically. So it was just a brief walkthrough of what the actual menus consist of. Let's go back up to the top, and I'm just going to put a bit of power on. So let's go over to, we're going to leave it in mode 35, which is 35 channels. And we're going to hit the run mode. And the minute I go into a particular mode, if I go into auto mode or sound mode, so if I go into auto mode, it should power up, and there we have it. You can hear the motors are not too noisy, they're fairly quiet to be fair. Let's stand this up. Very smooth. I like that. Yeah, the motors are fairly smooth, very smooth. They're not creating a lot of noise as I thought they would have done. And you can see the lens actually zooms in and zooms out. That's how it gets that rotating effect. So this bit rotates, as you can see. That's what gives the spinning effect. So as it zooms in, it goes into more of a wash type of fixture. So we're just in auto mode, so it would just grow through all the modes, which I'm not going to let it run through. So it's just changing modes again. So that's zoomed back in. And it's gone into more of a, before it changed, it went into more of a spot basically. So you got a spot, and then you got a spot, and then it goes into a wash as well. So you have the ability to use it as a wash or a spot, or you can have it run in the fixed patterns basically. So you can see the outer lens rotates as well. And that is it. So the next part I'm going to do, let me unplug that. So hopefully you've got a good idea of what the fixture does. Let me unplug that. So the next time you see me using this, I will be using it on the ADJ Wolfmix WMX1, where I will program a few scenes basically and get it dialed into how I like it. That's the beauty of using a DMX controller. You can actually set it up to how you particularly like it. Once again, that was a quick deep dive into the Shehds Bee's Eye LED Zoom Wash and Beam. I've got to thank Shehds for sending this out to me. It's very much appreciated. You know what you want to do. If you want to see more about this fixture and more reviews on Shehds lighting, you've got to hover over onto my channel basically on YouTube, where I'll be doing loads of other reviews and collaborations. I've got quite a few in the bank. I've been quite fortunate actually with people reaching out to me, asking me to review their fixtures. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. As I said earlier on before, I will be doing a deep dive into this using the ADJ Wolfmix WMX1 at a function. So it'll be a real-time, real-life review. So you get to see what it's like actually on the dance floor. And once again, big shout out and a big thanks to Shehds for sending this over to me. That is Shehds Lighting, of course, for sending this over to me. It's very much appreciated. So guys, you know what to do. Until the next time, until when I see you soon, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for all things DJ related, relating to sound, controllers, music. So until the next time, I'll see you all soon.